Hello and thank you again for clicking on to this week's video. My name is William, along with my wife Laura and my brother Andrew. We run this business, the attachment company. If you're new here, this is our series week to week. We release a video every single week showing you the ins and outs, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs of running our business. Our business, the attachment company, has two locations, one here in central Scotland and one in Denver, Colorado. Now with that being said, it is Monday morning. It is in fact a holiday Monday here in Scotland. But does that apply to us? No, it does not. We're here as usual and we're starting the day off with an order to go out. Auger Torque X2500 package with a 300mm S4 tungsten auger. This occasion is going with two different cradle hitches, one for a Takeuchi TB216 and one for a Bobcat E26. As it stands for Monday, that's it for orders going out. We have another couple of attachment orders that we need to finish getting ready to ship to the USA later in the week. Stick with us, we'll take you through this week inside the attachment company. Hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this with you. I mean, if he does, you'll not see this anyway. But quick delivery there. That is Robert, my brother-in-law Robert's latest purchase. Case tractor with front loader. Hopefully in due course we get to put one of our own Attachworks front loader buckets on it as well. Yeah, that's it for orders going out today. And as far as I'm aware, stuff coming in. Going to don't look at them. Going to nip over to the welders again now, put the trailer on, nip over there because I've got a couple of things to pick up. So aye, let's go and do that and then I'll show you what else we're at this afternoon. I got held up a little bit yesterday evening when we got back, but we did manage to pick up our new bench and bench top and a couple of double pin cradle hitches from the welders as well. Robert's tractor is in here. We'll find a space for that to go this morning. However, when we were in here yesterday, we got a delivery to the house and I think I know what it is. So first things first, I'm going to go and get that in, get it unpacked, and I'll show you hopefully what I think it is. Alright, we keep getting customers telling us they can't actually find our new place when we get here, so hopefully a couple of these will make a difference. We ordered these a couple of weeks ago from a supplier in China. They just got here yesterday. There's one actually hopefully going up inside, one going up outside. There's obviously the white on black and there's a black on white one as well, so pretty cool to actually see them here. Before we get to the money making jobs for this morning, we do have another delivery and I'm fairly sure I know what this is, but let's crack it open. I'm fairly sure this is more money spending than money making, but let's crack it open and have a look. Probably the least exciting thing we'll see this week, but in the pursuit of making things more efficient in here, a load of new picking bins, and hopefully by the end of the week I'll get to actually use them and I'll show you what they're for. But aye, enough deliveries inbound, let's go pack an order that's to go out the way. Much the same as yesterday, another Auger Torque X2500 package. This time it is going without a hitch bracket because frankly speaking we don't have one. Thought we did when I took the order from the customer yesterday. He is putting it on a 2-ton Komatsu PC17 with a 30mm pin, and we've got 25, we've got 32, we've got 35 and we've got 40, and apparently we've got no 30s. According to the computer we're supposed to have 3 and I can't put my hand on one, so we're sending the drive and the auger from here and the bracket's going to go direct from Auger Torque at Cheltenham Just means he'll get it in 2 different shipments, but it will both be there tomorrow. I'm going to finish getting that packed up and hopefully Palletways can pick it up later today. Alright, 7:30 Tuesday evening. Excuse me for the lack of updates. Got held up this afternoon again, but by a customer, which is never a bad thing. Come on, in you come. The outside lights are... We do have yard lights, but for some reason they keep tripping the power, so go and switch them back on. But yeah, was held up by a customer visit, and a good customer at that, so never complain about that. And yeah, packed up, started to pack up a log splitting cone there. That is going to a customer in Australia. Hopefully I can finish that in the morning. I'll explain to you more about it. Other than that, that's been it for things to actually show you today. Yeah, a lot of time spent with that customer that was in. Obviously got the order out this morning. Do you see what I mean? Hopefully that's the outside lights on. Obviously got that order out this morning, and that's pretty much been it. Oh aye, the big banner's arrived. There is a white on black one that was going to open as well, but it was starting to get a bit dirty looking on the floor in here, so we'll wait till we're putting that up. Hopefully get it up at the weekend, and I'll show you that as well. Let's see, do we have... Oh, we do, look at that. What a difference. Alright, enough for me. That is us for Tuesday. Wednesday morning, and one thing I did forget to show you last night is this came in on a delivery. It is a customer's 14-ton Susan breaker in for a bit of a service, a check over and a gas up. So I think we'll start there this morning, get the cover plate off it, get the tractor out, get the cover plate off the breaker, and check it for gas pressure, and then we can go from there for the rest of the day. So what I'm doing here, you've seen us do before, but what I'm doing is checking the nitrogen gas pressure in this breaker. You see when I press the plunger, the needle moves slightly, but there's very, very little gas pressure left in this. The customer reported poor performance, it was barely braking. I think I might have a video. If I've got a video, I'll put it in here just to show you what it was doing or not doing in this case. But the lack of gas pressure will be the cause of that. So I'm going to try and find an ID plate on this if I can, and work out what the recommended gas pressure is. We'll get the nitrogen bottle on it, we'll top it up, and we'll make sure we'll leave it for the day, make sure she holds pressure. Then we can get this tested and get it back to the customer. So what we're going to do, get a bottle of nitrogen here, going to connect that up to the gas pressure kit. Charge it up, I'm going to charge it to 16 bar, which is what our GB breakers take in this size. I'm going to leave it for the day, we'll come back at the end of the day and try it again, just to make sure it holds pressure. If it holds pressure, then all good. If it doesn't hold pressure, then obviously we've got a bigger issue on our hands. So let's charge it up. Hopefully you can see that there. I've taken it up. Let me turn this light down a bit. But you can see it, I've taken it up past 16, it's actually on 18 bar. It'll do it no harm to set at 18 bar just now, come back and test it again at the end of the day. Hopefully it's sitting around the 18 bar mark. If it's dropped off of there, then we know we've got an issue. Otherwise, fingers crossed, that's all that is wrong with it, and that'll be pretty much repair done if that's the case. But yeah, fingers crossed, and I'll catch up back with this at the end of the day. So this is exactly why we try and keep as much stock as possible. Just off the phone there with a good returning customer looking for one of these. Sawhead for his 3-ton excavator. Now we have one of them in stock with a 55 and a 75. They were actually scheduled to go to the US, but we can get this one out quickly and we can replace it here before we ship them out. And it's the other reason that we keep as many of these in stock. Hitch brackets for as many different sizes of small to medium excavators as possible, which means all we need to do when we get an order like this is pull the relevant bracket off the shelf. In this instance, drill out the bolt pattern on the bracket to match the bolt pattern on the saw, bolt the two together, and it is ready to go. So he is in a hurry for it, he needs it tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go, I'm waiting on the courier on palletways phoning me back just to confirm how early they can get it there. In the meantime, I'm going to go drill out the bracket, get this packed, ready to go, and I'll show you around it. Quick as that, prepped and ready to go. Bracket on it. This is a Slanetrac HS55 saw head with the 550mm diameter blade, and a bracket on it for the customer's Kubota KX71. This is max cut diameter 150mm, as I said, 550mm diameter saw. Bit of a weapon of a thing when on a machine, but great for the sort of work that he is planning to do with it. So thanks again, George, for the business. It is much appreciated. If we get any videos or footage of it working by the time this video comes out, I'll include it in here. Next order ready to go, an Auger Torque 8000 max drive unit and a 200mm S5 rock auger. 200mm S5 rock auger. This is going up to a customer of ours in Inverness. There is a hitch bracket and a 300 auger to go with it, which we don't have in stock. Auger Torque are making that at Cheltenham. I'm going to send it direct. We're going to send this up from here, should all be there for the start of next week. Mixed start to the morning. First things first, packed another couple of things yesterday afternoon to get them away on palletways. 8000 max package, I think I told you about, and a log splitting cone I managed to get packed up and on the collection yesterday. On the note of the collection, the Slanetrac saw that we sent out yesterday, that I had double checked the palletways, made sure everything was going to be on time. Customer was desperate, needed it for this morning, and I find out this morning it didn't actually make the trunk run last night, which means it won't be with the customer until at least tomorrow, which I know it's out of everybody's hands, but had I known about it last night, when they knew about it, I could maybe have done something to rectify the situation, but I never, and that's where we're at. So poor start, out with our control, but nonetheless still our customer, so annoying start to this morning. On the brighter side, picked up another log splitting cone. I think I mentioned the other day, going to, I mean there's not much to show you, I've already packed it, it's in the box there. It's going to a customer in Victoria, Australia. There you go. He really wanted the bigger size splitter cone, and we were the only folks that he could find either here or in the US that do them in that size. So he's went ahead and ordered it, which is pretty cool to be fair. Came off the website. He's putting it under an Auger Torque drive, so it's going to get air freighted to him. It is fairly expensive for the air freight, but again it kind of is what it is, so that's pretty cool. Bit of a shorter day today because we have some personal things on this afternoon. It's going to take up a few hours. I'm going to get cracked on, get these grabs finished, so hopefully they can get picked up today, and then I'm not sure what's on the plan, but I'm going to go do that first to make sure they can get going. As expected, absolute manic morning yesterday morning, so apologies for not managing to film too much for you. Can't actually remember where we finished up yesterday, but Laura and I had a personal engagement that we really could not miss yesterday afternoon. So it was a bit manic with customers coming in and then trying to get away for that. So anyway, it's Friday morning, we're back in the warehouse and we actually had the delivery in waiting for us when we get in this morning at 7:30. I will show you that in a minute. But before that, it's a huge day for the orange and grey in here. Our biggest order of Kinshofer NOX Tiltrotators to date. Lined up, ready for a customer to come in and collect later on today. This is 3 different models. TR25, TR19 and TR11. These are in what we would consider plant hire spec, so they're direct mounted, they are hydraulic only, and they are fitted with the D-lock lower coupler. So this is a TR15 direct mount DF10 with a D-lock, meaning that every service, every function on the NOX, on each of these tiltrotators, needs one hydraulic service from the excavator. So it's one service for tilt, one for rotate, one for the quick hitch, so on and so forth. You get the idea. And similarly to the one we fitted a couple of weeks ago on the JCB 100C, I'll cut in a little bit of footage here as I'm talking, they are fitted with the D-lock lower coupler. That is Doherty's coupler from New Zealand, another one of the Kinshofer group companies. They make the lower coupler that goes under this NOX configuration and allows the customer to use what we would consider in the UK to be standard spec pin-on buckets. As for sizes of excavator, the smallest one here, the TR11, is what we fitted a couple of weeks ago. We've got the mid-size, the TR19 for a 14-ton excavator, and we've got the biggest one in the range, the biggest one to date, the TR25 for 20 to 22-ton excavators. So thank you again to Potter Plant for the business on these. It's thoroughly appreciated, and we look forward to seeing them on machines and out working. Now the one other big upside with this setup is it's fairly easy to self-install, and that's what the customer is doing in this instance. It's a case of pinning it on the excavator like you would any other quick hitch, and then, as I mentioned earlier, it's one hydraulic service for each function on the tiltrotator. Now that does mean to tilt, rotate and use the lower quick hitch, you do need 3 hydraulic services, 2 auxiliary proportional, one for the tilt, one for the rotate, and then your standard quick hitch hydraulic circuit for the lower coupler. The one downside being, or the main downside being, if you have an excavator with 2 hydraulic auxiliaries, you can only tilt and rotate. You couldn't work any hydraulic functions on the underside of the NOX, be it a grab or a gripper or a tree shear or a flail or whatever other hydraulic attachment. But enough of the sales pitch for me. I could not be happier to see these here and ready to go. This is, for us as a business and me personally, a huge order, and one I'm really proud to see getting out this year. These will be our 3rd, 4th and 5th NOX tiltrotators in as many months, and I'm really happy to see them start to gain a bit of traction, to start to get some momentum for us as a business. So great start to a Friday. Back to the delivery that turned up this morning before we were in. Let's crack it open and I'll show you what it's for. Been waiting on this for a few days now. It is a bracket for an Echotec tree shear. The one a few weeks back, that one sitting on the shelf there, that we took the bracket off for a customer. We're just going to replace that, get it on that shear. Hopefully we can get it out today because the customer has been waiting on it. So I think we might make that our first job of the day. Right, quarter to 4 Friday afternoon. Let me quickly catch up. It's been a bit manic. So dispatched the tree shear, we put the bracket on. It's an Echotec RTS 250, was our ex-display shear, hence why it looks like it's been sitting and been to a few shows. New bracket on it, hoses on it, couplers on it, dispatched, ready to go. We have had a couple of deliveries in. First one, Simex, a PLB 200 planer, a cutting edge blade kit for the screening bucket, and some wear parts that we could do with getting out this afternoon as well. The planer is for an order. We're going to try and get it out this afternoon, but we might be pushed for time. It might be Monday. We're also trying to get the Intermercato grabs finished. Laura and I just finished making some hoses for the solenoid for this one. It is here. So this is for a customer that only has one hydraulic circuit. We're going to mount this solenoid on the bracket for the excavator. As one circuit will go in, it'll be controlled by a foot pedal in the cab, and that will let them change between rotate and open and close. So once that gets to Denver and Andrew gets it all built up, we will update you with the pictures and the videos. Hopefully we can show you it working. Also get a delivery from Kinshofer, an S-type coupler. I'll show you what that's for next week. And with a delivery from India as well, 4 crates of hitch brackets that hopefully we can get put away at some point next week as well. So that's what we're up to. We're going to push on and get these grabs finished, and hopefully we can get them out today. Breathe. Tree shear made it out, grabs made it out, 1 order of Simex teeth made it out, all before the deadline this evening, which is, yeah, had a bit of a stress on there. So now I'm going to take an hour or two, get back to the inquiries that we've had over the time we were trying to get things out. But that does raise a really important point. Some point sooner rather than later, we are going to need to get some help. What's happening, and what really annoys me, why I really got stressed out this afternoon, was we're now not getting back to sales inquiries in a timely manner, because we're trying to get product out, and getting product out and getting orders out is great because there's things that's been ordered. But then if we're not getting back to sales inquiries, ultimately it leads you to wonder what we're missing. And it's just not the level of service we like to give either. Like, to sales and customers are the core of our business, and if we don't have them, we don't have a business. So that needs to be priority. So I need to try and offload some of my other responsibilities, and how that looks at the moment, I'm not really sure. It is something we've done in the US starting this week. Andrew's got somebody in there helping him a few hours a day, just in the warehouse, getting orders out, picking, packing, shipping, that sort of thing. So whether we maybe try and replicate that here, I don't know yet. Something that Laura and I will really need to discuss. Anyway, I'm going to take an hour or two, finish off this evening. It is 6:30. I'm going to get episode 56 polished off, get the title and inscription done, and it'll be live on YouTube tonight. And yeah, that's us for Friday. Alright, Saturday again. What has been going on today? Started off this morning getting the bracket on the PLB 200 that arrived yesterday. That's pretty much ready, just needs a set of hoses on it and it can go Monday morning. Trying to get myself one step ahead for next week. Speaking of hitch brackets, I said yesterday that we got a delivery. It was a delivery of 4 crates of hitch brackets from the factory in India. So let's get a quick look around them and I'll show you what was in it. So these are stuff you've seen before, but some different sizes. 3 crates full of hitch brackets. With Attachworks branding on them this time. I also spent a bit of time earlier finishing off getting the 30mm and the 25mm pin brackets, the ones that were sitting out on the floor, getting them all measured up, stickered up and on the shelf behind me. Which does raise another point. The ones I've just showed you that got delivered yesterday are all from now on Attachworks branded and have a serial number plate on them with the pin dimensions, the pin diameter and the pin centres, which is much better for us when we get them in here, because it means we don't have to measure every one up. They can come straight out the crates and onto the shelf. Means that when we use it to build a bracket for your attachment, or we drill it out to bolt up to whatever, it means that we can easily identify that bracket. And then if you need to reorder an attachment or a bracket with the same pin dimensions, it's easy just to take a look at the serial plate and tell us. And it also helps with traceability. That serial plate, along with the number that's actually stamped on the plate of the hitch bracket, that allows us to trace back who made it, what materials went into it, when it was made, the whole lifespan of what went into that bracket. We can trace it back from the serial number and the number that is stamped on the plate. Which brings us on nicely to our next point, Attachworks. Now if you're new here, that will mean absolutely nothing to you. If you've been watching the last few episodes, 56 just went live last night. We've changed our schedule a little bit to make it on a Friday evening. We went and installed that NOX Tiltrotator, and it had one of our Attach Works buckets on it. Now, this is something I want to keep sharing a bit more and make a point of sharing on our weekly videos, is the updates with the Attach Works brand. So if you're new here, you're wondering what I'm talking about, Attach Works AW is the brand that we started, and we actually documented the whole process on our TikTok channel, from picking a name, from picking a logo, brand colours, product lines, the whole thing we documented start to finish. It's our brand, it's our container for putting products that we want to make that we don't currently have in our offering. We have a brand and we have a container for them. It's uniform, it looks good, it's professional, it's something that we can continue to build and continue to build out our product range. Now, the whole point around Attach Works was transparency, showing you the whole process start to finish, how your attachments are designed, how they're tested, how they're developed, where they're made, what they're made of, everything, how they get to where they're made to here, how we market them, the whole lot. So I'll cut a little bit of footage in here, but if you want to go back and see in a bit more detail about our products and where they're made and where the Attach Works attachments are made at the moment, I'll link it up here somewhere. Go back and watch that one where I go to the factory in India and show you start to finish a bucket and an attachment actually being manufactured. Before we finish for Saturday and the Attach Works update, we have this to show you. I'll put the video in here. It is our latest attachment that we have been designing and developing with the factory over in India. It is a 5-finger excavator grab. You can see it there, the actual finished pictures of the first prototype, and I'll put in the video as well of it being tested before it was painted and then being tested again after it was painted. So hopefully you can see there just what goes into developing something. I'll share the drawings with you. I'll put a drawing in here, a 3D render in here as well. That went from an idea to a drawing to multiple drawings to revisions to getting a prototype actually built, tested, painted, tested again, and it is ready to be sent over to us for actual testing in the field. That should be here in our next order, which should be the end of November. We are planning, I'll share more details on this tomorrow, and then in next week's episode we are planning an open day here at the start of December. Full details, as I said, to come, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that order makes it here in time. That grab will be on it, and then I can show you more details about it and show you around it when it gets here. So that's us for the Attach Works update for the week, and that is us for Saturday. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you want us to keep going into more details on Attach Works on our own brand in future episodes, let us know in the comments. But in the meantime, it is 6 PM and that's us done for Saturday. Alright, if you've made it all the way to this part of the video, it should be Sunday morning, but it is in fact the following Monday. So we're going to end this week's video here. If you've made it all the way to the end, as I said, thank you very much for watching again. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this week's video, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, and join us again next week for another one. When you're down there, if you'd hit like, hit subscribe, you'd be doing us a massive favour. But for now, that's it for me. That's it for this episode, and we'll catch you next week.